Welcome back to another episode on the Mr. Analyst channel. Of course, my name is Leighton Levy, and before we get into our next interview with the World Championship silver medalist Orlando Bennett, we want to encourage you to subscribe, like, share, and of course, leave comments under the videos because we love your input and we learn from your input, and of course, makes us do better for you. Our guest tonight, as I mentioned before, is the World Championship silver medalist, man called Orlando Bennett, one who leads with his right leg. I don't know. Orlando, thanks for joining us. Let me first start with congratulating you on the what was a significant accomplishment at the World Championships because it's not just the fact that you won a silver medal, but also that Tyler Mason won a bronze as well. There are many Jamaicans, I can tell you, who, on news of Rashid Boswell's demise at the national championship, picking up an injury, that didn't give Jamaica many or much opportunity or much chance of winning a medal at the World Championships in the 110 hurdles. You guys came away with two that were significant, so congratulations on that.
Thank you
So
very much.
let
Thank
me
you.
so let me ask you this first off. You won silver at the World Under 20 Championships in Tampere in 2018. You won bronze at NACA Championships in 2022. How important was this medal for you in Tokyo in 2025?
After my silver medal in 2018, I would say this was basically the next highest achievement that I've
Mm,
accomplished because even though knockout medal is still an accomplishment, it wasn't really recognized as a big achievement. So getting a medal on the global stage is always a big statement, and it's a personal accomplishment to me because I've been going to world champs for like 4 to 5 years from I was
mm,
19 years old. So it just seemed as a long journey, and it was one of those journey where I felt like it wasn't going to end with anything positive. So
mm.
reaching at the end of the tunnel and seeing the light and actually being able to be on the podium for my country is like it's like one of the greatest things for me, to be honest.
Did it also represent a breakthrough for you in terms of your career? Because this was the highest level in which you won a medal now. Is because I remember talking to you at the national championships, and you said something which was instructive. You said you were going for a podium. You're not going there just to compete. You're going there to be on the podium, and that goal was accomplished. Um, was this like a major breakthrough for you in terms of your career? Because you said you've been doing this for a while,
Yeah.
but you were in the Olympic final last year, finished seventh, which in itself is an accomplishment. Um, was this a breakthrough for you in terms of know that you're on the podium?
It was a major breakthrough, but the reason why I got to that breakthrough was changing my mindset. So over the years, one of my biggest mindset was just to make the team, was
Mm,
just to be on the Jamaica team, just to go out there and represent. But after seeing that making the team was attainable for me and I wasn't really getting any much further than the semifinals, it was seen as a big hurdle,
mm.
no pun intended. It was seen as a big hurdle. So I had to change my mindset, change how I thought, because I think that even though I believed in myself, I didn't believe in myself to the extent of delusion, where I could say that okay, despite being almost running the 10th fastest time in the world, I could actually be on the podium. So I was always one of those person that was looking at the facts, the times, the height, the speed, and I just cast all that away between last year and this year. So I just went to the mindset that, all right, we're here. Let's see what you can do. And I'm going to show what I can do.
Mm. There's a saying that if your dreams don't scare you, you're
Yeah.
not big enough. So clearly the dreams can scare you for a while until you realize that it was well within your reach.
Yeah, it was hard because I don't know if you heard, but I was working last year. I was doing a
Hmm.
job in the mornings, and I had to be training most of the time by myself. Being at Coach Mills camp, it was a really it was really an advantage for me because I wasn't getting to train with Oblique, Watson. I was really getting to train with most of them. So most of the time I went in the evening, it was just mostly me doing the program, trying to keep up with the times. So I mean, I was at a point where I was like basically at the end of my rope, you know.
Hmm.
I was saying, all right, I grew up in track and field. I was really one of those stars going into high school. So I
Yeah.
was saying to myself that maybe this is, the end of the road. This was all I could accomplish. I made so many teams. So, it don't really look that bad. But I just kept persevering, kept being resilient. But it was really hard, Mr. Levy. I can tell you, it was many times tears came to my eyes walking back in the tunnel after not making a final, financial issues and the whole work. So I mean, after the race, when I actually went through the line, and I was basically relieved. Everyone was like,
Hmm.
"You didn't jump for joy. You didn't." I was tired. It's yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you've been trying to get to somewhere for years, and you finally reach. It's like, oh, thank God, finally.
Yeah.
So
Finally. Yeah.
yeah, so it's been a long journey so far, and I'm just 26. You
Yeah.
know, but I started so young. So yeah.
Let me ask you this. I asked Kyle about this when I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago. You had the second fastest time going to the semifinals,
Hmm.
and you both went into the finals with the top two times, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Um, what did you have any conversations with Tyler to say this is our moment? This is an opportunity for us to do something that people didn't expect us to do, given
I
the
mean,
history.
Tyler is more on the reserve side. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, well, I did mention to him that it's me and him against all of them. When
Mm,
we were getting ready for the finals. I mean, but me and Tyler has always been cool. I mean, coming up through the meet, the small meets, the JC, the
mm,
trials, racers. It's like this back and forth. He wins, I wins. The year when I actually beat him to come third. When we went to Europe after that, I
mm.
I won no races when I ran with him. Like he was giving me all the pain. So so to see him medal with me is just one of those surreal moments where life is so unpredictable. You don't know like when you're gonna achieve and you don't know who you're gonna achieve with. So I mean, to me that's one of the highlights of my
Mm.
career.
There's something that I heard about you, which actually raised. I always respected you, huh? As a hard worker, as a try. But I heard something about you that actually raised my level of respect for you. I heard that when you went to Calabar and you didn't met the team, I think. So I don't know. Did I get it wrong? Tell me, right? And I heard that you went home and built your own hurdles or something like that. Was that true?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when I didn't make the team that year, was very devastating, you know. But I was very small, slim, slow. I was running like 19 over
Yeah.
the over the hurdles. So I always had this self-belief and I always had this discipline. So, I come from the hills. So nothing close inside where I can go to a field or get some hurdles. So I had this zinc at the time and I put it at the doorway, put something to keep it up, and I was sprinting over it through the hallway. That's why people ask, why is it that your technique is like that? Because I basically built my technique from hurdling
Mhm.
over zinc. I actually did cut myself once.
I can
On the back,
imagine.
yeah, on the back of my leg. So from that instance, that basically developed technique for hurdling. So yeah, it was true.
Yeah, because I mean, that to me tells me that there is something more about you than what people probably see. The work ethic, the determination, the fact that you just told me that you're training on your own at races for the most part. And of course the fact that you almost gave up because of the difficulty in making that progress. Now that you've broken through though, obviously your mindset has changed. What kind of new goals are you setting for yourself now? Because yeah, well, let me just give you an example I'm talking about. When I spoke to Tyler, he said that he felt like he could go sub 13 in Tokyo. Was that something that you felt? And whether or not, if that's the case, is that something that you're aspiring to?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. The sky's the limit. There was this reporter that was asking me at the trials this year if I feel pressured. And I said to them that pressure is a privilege because that means that good things are expected of you.
Mhm.
I mean, definitely, I got a silver. I'm aiming for a goal. I mean, I've run 13-0, so I'm aiming for 12. If you notice my progress over the years, my times are, as always, dropped, like
Mhm.
even like for 0.01 second, like every single season. So, yeah, I'm definitely aiming for the 12 seconds. I might do some experimenting this season, try because
Mhm.
my technique is not as perfect in terms of like my my race analysis. Early season I was starting fast and just holding on. In Tokyo I was starting slow, finishing fast. So that's something that I need to study, do some
Mhm.
more homework. So it's always a learning curve, it's always a process, but definitely aiming to be better as always.
Something else I heard about you, and this is another good thing. You said you don't get to train oblique and the rest of the crew because you were working on everything.
Mhm.
I was also told that when you were at Calabar, you gave oblique probably his first pair of spikes that he rested.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when in 2019 when I went pro, before Oblique started to run the 10 seconds like back to back, I had this pair of spikes and I gave it to him because I saw the potential and he's this humble kid, easy going. And I just saw it as a gesture and I gave him, and look at that now. He's a world champion. Yeah,
In the
so
same year, in which you win a
yeah.
global medal as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. And he's one of the big factors. Like apart from Zarnell Hughes or Antonio Watson, those people that push you to propel to higher heights, they motivate you, they show you that all right, this is the goal and you're doing it together. You don't feel like you're alone, even though I might be one of like not one of, I might be the only male hurdler at the track. They still
Mm,
motivate me when I'm training. They say, okay, work on this technique, snap down the lead leg, carry on the trail leg. So it speaks volume to the camp that I'm in and like how well we're well knitted and how we push each other each time.
mm. You mentioned, of course, working on your technique. And who you work with? Sewell, Kurt Sewell?
Yeah, Craig Sewell is my hurdles coach.
This is because you've been working with Sewell from Calabar, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Does that make it more palatable even though you're working by yourself? I mean, because of the familiarity with Sewell and he understands you a little bit more than probably anybody else would.
Um, I would say it's very beneficial in the sense that he's been known me for so many years and we've been training and he studied what gets me to run fast, what will make me
Mm,
run slow. So it's the scientific aspect where the coach actually studies their athletes. I do actually get some hurdle session in with other athletes
mm,
sometimes. I train with Parchment up at EUH. I train with Okil's group, Dejor, sometimes we hurdle. So but for the most part, I do hurdle by myself, but
mm.
sometimes I do get some assistance from others.
Okay, so talk to me now. You win worlds, I mean, sorry, your silver world. Sorry, my bad. I'm
It's
hoping you're
fine.
with
It's
that
fine.
world. um, we mentioned earlier about new targets. Give me a sense of how you envision accomplishing those goals. Because there's one thing to set a target, but then you have to create a pathway to that target. Do you see yourself doing more speed work? Do you see yourself doing more mechanical work? Give me a sense of how you think that's going to play out for the new season.
I mean, there was this tweets going around at the words that was basically saying that Orlando Bennett only cares about national trials and I only get in like peak shape for worlds. So I would love to kind of help that narrative to kind of shift
Mm,
because I do want to run fast at the Diamond Leagues. I do want to perform better. So, I mean, that would be one of the major aspects for me, running fast
mm,
consistently, like running good times straight throughout the season, and then at the end of the season, still getting a good time. So that's one thing I have to put into consideration. Definitely need to get faster. Definitely need to get stronger because I mean, when you're training with a oblique and a Zarnel,
yeah.
you're very mediocre.
You
Not
can't
even
fool
close.
around.
So the more I can benefit from training with them, the more I can
Mm,
actually show a good account of myself because their fastest times are 9.7, 9.8. Even Watson's fastest time is 10.2, and I'm
mm,
at 10.5. So it would be good to lower my 100-meter time. So that's one of my goals as well. And
mm,
as we go on, technicalities, I speak to my coach, see what we need to fix because my technique is not as perfect. Watching back my race, I did see some errors, you know, how you run under adrenaline rush. So, I mean, I definitely have to fix those things as well.
Tell me through that final because you're at a point where you look like you were actually leading. I don't know if the camera angle was giving me a false sense of where you were in the race, but tell me what you saw from within the race itself because you're in the middle with Tyler and with of course Connell Tinch was on the outside. Tell me how you saw the race unfold from your perspective.
I mean, for most of the first part of the race, it was kind of like a blank. I know I reacted with the gun, but
Mm,
I, as I told you before, my reaction is not what it's used to be, like what I'm used to, before going into the championship. So I was basically trusting the process. So I got out, drive to the hurdle. Um, but my biggest mindset was not letting Cardell get away from me. Because
mm,
I was like, if if me and him are side by side going to the 6 or 7 hurdle, then we can go through the line and basically battle
mm,
it up. But by the third hurdle, I had clipped it. So I was like, oh damn. So I was like, get back, get back. And then when it reached to like the seventh or eighth hurdle, I just felt this surge or rush. So I was like, catch him, catch him. And I was just going hurdle after hurdle. I was speeding up. But unfortunately, I did not catch him. And
well, we're not real estate.
yeah,
It
so it was
happens.
so most of the race, it was just like a blur and it was just muscle memory and basically adrenaline. But I would say that was one of my most tiring races. Like sometimes I will run and I will feel energetic after, but technically and speed wise, I think I used up every single stride, every single muscle, every single speed running that race.
Yeah, but it paid off in the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, so it was not complete waste. Um, what did you do, if anything, when you came home? I mean, you come home with a medal, you come home with some money in your pocket. Does that change your circumstances here? I mean, are you still gonna be working? Are you still gonna be, you know, doing the same thing you did last year?
I mean,
Or has that changed?
definitely I'm in a better financial position. If I wouldn't necessarily have to do the work that I was doing before based on like 9 to 5.
Mm,
If I should do anything, it's probably out of having a background in something else other than track and field.
Mm.
In terms of what I did after, I did have my birthday celebration.
Oh yeah, we're
Um,
going to talk about that in a little bit.
yeah, yeah. I did link up with my friends, had some games night, chill. Nothing much, just a little mellow vibes. I mean, so yeah, mostly chilling. But I do start back training next week.
Oh, so you have to be
So,
careful.
yeah, it's not really a long of a break, and I still have to be jogging, doing
Mm.
fitness. So you don't really get like a lot of rest in track and
I know. I used to do this thing as well. Not as good as you, but way back in the day. Yeah. So you had a nice little birthday thing going. I saw something on social media. You dress out, that deck out in a nice flamboyant jacket and thing, and tell me about that because that looked like it was a lot of fun for you.
yeah, it was my fiance put on this surprise birthday party for me, so I had no clue it was being held. So I just thought we were going out for dinner. And then, they had this old music. Most of my family was there, most of my friends were there, and it was kind of like I was kind of emotional for a second, but I didn't really show it, but it was really enjoyable. And then after we went, like the younger people went and we just kick it at a spot and play having some vibes, and it kind of speaks volumes to the people that I have around me and the support system. It's really something that drives me. It's really something that helps to propel me to be better. And I'm just grateful for each and every one of them.
And we are grateful. I mean, you've joined all the panels, and that includes Hansel Parchment, Rashid Broadbell, Ken, what's his name, Mr. Smooth. You're among the Jamaican medalists now, global medalists in the 110-meter hurdles. You're in a pantheon of a few men of high quality. So that's something obviously now that you've achieved. And I think all of Jamaica is proud of you for that
And
because
and Mr. Not to cut you, Mr. Levy, but it's one of those things where you've been around for a while and you feel as if you don't really get as much credit, as much admiration as you think you would get from people. And then it's like you show up at a trials and people are like, all right, Orlando knows how to make a team, but I know it's a good narrative, but it's not the best one. It's not like a parchment that they will say, all right, we know that once parchment makes a team is in the final, it's gonna get a
mm,
medal. So I didn't really like the fact that they were limiting me to, this small spectrum where I am just the trials guy. I get that, it's a good show, but at the end of the day, you want to be known for somebody that's running fast, somebody that's putting out a good performance, somebody that's getting medals. So that was one of the things that I didn't really like throughout my career, so I had to change it.
absolutely. I mean, look, Omar McLeod, Hansel Parchment, Ronald Levy. I mean, you're there right now with them. You're a medalist, a global medalist, and I think that's something that clearly you should be proud of. Orlando, want to thank you. But before I say goodbye, let me just remind our viewers that please subscribe to the channel, like and share our content, leave your comments below, and share your thoughts on Orlando's significant accomplishment this year. Because, boss, personally speaking, you have no, you have proven that the road might be long and the journey might be rough, but at the end of the day, the victory is always sweeter when that is the case because now you don't have to worry about whether or not you can actually do it anymore because you've proven to yourself that you could. And I don't think you can ask more than that.
Oh no, you can.
All right,
Thank you very
but,
much.
but thank you so much, boss, and of course, wishing you all the best. Huh?
Yeah, man. Thanks again, Shirley.